Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
Forbes has officially decreed that Seattle's Bill Gates, with $4.2 billion, is the second richest person in the country. So of course we turn to him, hoping to learn some secrets of his meteoric success.
We can fight our desires, ooh, but when we start making fires, we get ever so hot. Whether we like it or not. They say we can love who we trust. But what is love without lust? Two hearts with accurate devotion. What are feelings without emotion? I'm going in for the kill, doing it for a thrill, and I'm hoping you'll understand and don't let go of my hand. I held my hopes out on the line.
Bill Gates, for so long the world's richest man, famously announced he would give most of it away and spend his time and vast resources on the world's poor.
If you leave them out too long, they'll be withered by the sun. Full stops and exclamation marks. My heart's so beating for a star now. And how far can you send emotion? Can this bridge cross the ocean? And I'm going in for a kill. I'm doing it for a thrill. And I'm hoping you'll understand and don't let go of my hand. And I'm going in for the kill. I'm doing it for a thrill. And I'm hoping you'll understand and don't let go of my hand. And don't let go of my hand.
We were at one of these meetings yesterday, and I remember that a lady told you that she had had 8 children, and 4 of them had died in childbirth, or shortly thereafter. But if all of them had survived, she'd have 8 children. And what the developing world does not need is more children. And what the developing world does not need is more children.
And I think that was the biggest aha to Bill and me when we got into this work, is we asked ourselves, of course, the same hard-nosed question you'd ask, which is, if you get into this work and you start to save these children, will women just keep overpopulating the world? And thank goodness the converse is absolutely true. So they don't do that, because women say to themselves they want 2 children to survive into adulthood. If she knows that 2 will survive into adulthood, she will naturally bring down her population. And so as soon as she starts to see that getting them vaccinated or keeping them alive during the birth, she won't have as many children. That's what we just heard from this group as well, that the older women had had more children, hoping more would survive, but the younger women are starting to plan for smaller families because they know they'll live.
They all said they wanted 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is fantastic.
Not 8.
That's what you want. Yeah.
And so if you understand that there's a high likelihood that your child is going to survive, you believe they'll have fewer.
Absolutely, and we're seeing that play out in all the population numbers across the globe. In fact, the population rates are coming down faster than had been predicted 10 years ago.
Absolutely, and we're seeing that play out in all the population numbers across the globe. In fact, the population rates are coming down faster than had been predicted 10 years ago.
Well. Back again. Yep. And I think we are live. Yep. As far as I'm aware, we are indeed rolling, right? Cooking by gas, as they say here in bonny Scotland. A cold, wintry day up here in little old Elgin in the rolling hills of Murrayshire. Good evening to each and every one. I hope you're, doing as good as can be in this absolutely insane world that we live in. It is mental, if you did not know already. So good evening to everyone. Hopefully the audio's okay, and I'll quickly say hello right in the chat if I could work it. Oh man, technical issues as well. Oh man, honestly, me and technology, I don't know why I bother. Sometimes I think, this, I'm just going to give up with technology completely. I think it would be better. Life would be easier. I thought technology was meant to make our lives better. I think it might be the opposite. Oh man, now it's not working. There you go. Anthony, hello to you. Good to see you, brother. A regular back again. John as well, great stuff, good to have you. Scott's Armour in the house, fantastic. A great channel, get subscribed if not already, and send some as well. Bill Gates, I put that together today. Wee Billy and his now ex-husband, Michael, Melinda, or whatever his name is, I don't know, but yeah, strange. Strange is one way to describe Bill Gates and his ex-wife, put it that way. I really don't know what to make of them. I honestly don't. I kind of think they don't even exist. It's strange. They're into so many different things. But tonight, it's not wee Billy Rockefeller, but we will get into him again in the future. So, send some. Scott's Armour. Who else have we got? Pepperami. There you go. Fantastic. Good to have you. Tony. Charlotte as well. Great stuff. Exiled Viking. Where are we? Oh man, I've broke it already. What have I done? There we go. Exiled Viking. Good to have you in the hood. Great stuff. Quite a few. Psyop as well. The audio's alright, seemingly. So, thank you very much, Scott's Armour. I'll take your word for it, brother. There we go. Nez Lover. Fantastic. Great to have you. So quite a few. Good to see people engaging, of course, right? It's a bit pointless me being here myself. So, a wee bit of NASA again tonight. A bit of the moon, I guess. And a few other bits. Whoa, as I nearly destroy the whole setup. So I've got like a few bits to cover in terms of different slides, and I think we've got a couple of videos as well. If I've done it correct. Oh man, I bet I've missed a few. I've got a feeling that I have. So if that is the case, what I'll do is I'll try and find it and get it up on a tab so I can share it, right? But we'll see. Maybe I haven't. Time will tell, I guess, right? So I'll jump back in the chat in a bit, but feel free to comment away, and I'll try and keep an eye on it, but I'm hopeless. So you can chat amongst yourselves, and we'll cover a few bits, right? Hopefully everyone's hanging in there. 2022, right? Who'd have thought it? Who'd have thought they'd ever seen it? But there you go. So what we're going to do is cover a few bits. Let me see if I can... we're good in the hood at the moment up here. So far, so good. I kind of feel a storm on the horizon, to be fair, but I always kind of have that feeling anyway. So, I don't know. Things are going alright, so you kind of think, well, what's in the off then, right? Things are going too good. It's too good to be true. But we'll see. Life is strange, put it that way. And it's got its ups and its downs. But, hey, we hung in there. We fight on every day, right? Good to have you in the hood tonight, brother. So let me see if I can work it. Matrix, of course. Went for a different background tonight. Guys wanting to fight, right? I'd rather you than me taking on that guy, but there you go. You'd give it a bash, right? Take him out. Let me see if I can make it full screen, because it's better. It's better with me out the way. The story of my life. So, I thought a wee bit on James Webb, well, the telescope, and a wee bit on the guy. I think we will get into him again in terms of who he was or who he might have been. We will cover a few bits tonight. I think he would have been an agenda's man, put it that way. You don't get to become the head of NASA without, let's say, being involved in a few rituals, put it that way, ceremonies. I would imagine that's not a job that me or you could have, put it that way, not that we would want it. So yeah, here's the wee cover that I put together. Quite impressed. If I do say so myself, let me make it bigger. Is it sharing? I forgot to check because yeah, I have got the potential to completely mess it up. I don't know. I just want to make sure it's alright. Are we going? Are we rolling? We're rolling. We're cooking. Sorted. So it's there. You can see it. Yeah. So, James Webb telescope. That's what they're calling it anyway. People wanted it changed, seemingly, which was news to me until the other day. People were not happy. Very angry that it was called the James Webb telescope. They wanted it changed. Fuck. As they even made a petition, I think, right? Oh, bless them. But there you go. This is it here. And yeah, it's got a few different bitties. Primary mirror, secondary mirror. Scientific instruments. Wow. Fascinating stuff, right? A sunshade. Yeah, as you do, right? Of course. Spacecraft bus. Okay. Antenna. Just poking out here. No concern whatsoever. We'll expand on that a wee bit again. This is the model. This is from a 3D model of the James Webb telescope. And when you look at it, I can't zoom in with this at the moment. You might be able to see it anyway. But you zoom in and you can kind of see, like grills, like a vent, different cables, kind of, I guess, piping, and yeah, antenna, a couple of wee small satellites, I guess satellite dishes, and none of it protected whatsoever. I think, as you can see on the left hand side, there's some casing around a percentage of it, but that's it. It's like it's been left completely bare. In the left hand image, I think it's the left hand one, you can see at the bottom, it looks like it's got a wheel on it. But it's not. I think it's a satellite dish. It's not a wheel off of a Tesco trolley. And it's got a big antenna at the top sticking out. I mean, not protected in any way. And straight away I find that rather bizarre, given what they tell us about space, because seemingly there's junk everywhere. Enormous amounts of junk That big amount, including what they call satellite junk and rock, meteorite rock, there's that much of it. They reckon that the Earth is going to have rings like Saturn. Oh man. So in the future, right, this is what they're going for. In the future, the Earth's going to have these rings of space junk, I guess. How far down the line that is, I'm unsure. But like I've said before, the deception is that deep. In time to come, they will paint a picture of the world and the universe that will be unrecognisable to me and you. But they'll run with it, they'll go with it, and it will continue to change as the lies continue. That's how it has to roll, basically. The manipulation must go on. So that's what they go with. This is from NASA. I don't know if this was a telescope that took it or another artist that drew it. Most likely an artist that drew it. So they reckon there's quite a lot. I think in 2021, the United States Space Surveillance Network was tracking more than 15,000 pieces of space debris larger than 10 centimetres, which is 4 inches across, of course. It is estimated that there are about 200,000 pieces between 1 and 10 centimetres, and that there could be millions of pieces smaller than 1 centimetre. So I'm kind of baffled as to why they would design this telescope like it's vulnerable to these bits of rock and space junk that they talk of. Because of course, what do they say? That it's only around Earth? No, they say that it's in the vastness of space. So what, are they tracking every single bit of rock? I doubt it very much. It seems to me like this wouldn't last 20 minutes up in space. It would be done. I mean, this might not be the full design in the image. They might have put a casing on it. I'd like to think they would have, but I don't know. This is the image that they've gave us. This is the complete image of the model that they've seemingly sent up, which is now fucking on its way to 1 million miles from Earth. I think that's what they're going with, 1 million miles. So if we have a look at some of the info in regards to this telescope, right, that they're calling it, at least. It got launched on Christmas Day, which is, it raises an eyebrow, put it that way. So they launched it on Christmas Day, December the 25th, right? We're not going to get into the numbers too much. Seemingly it's gold plated, the honeycomb kind of beehive design, which kind of screams Freemason, to be honest. I mean, even that image there, it kind of looks like a Masonic logo. But there you go. I guess you can maybe overthink it, but we do know about the beehive connection with the Freemasons, who are well and truly connected when it comes to NASA, big time. That is for sure, and we have covered that in the past. But in terms of this, you'll notice there in I think it's the left-hand corner, top left-hand corner, mission duration. How long, right? Surely they would know. Oh man, this cracks me up. Surely they would know how long it's going to last. Or maybe give or take a month or two, a week or two. Maybe a bit more. You'd think they would know. At least that's my opinion, my take on it. So what they say here, this information is from NASA. It came out in India today, before the launch. It says here, 5 to 10 years. Right, so it's going to last 5 to 10 years. Or 5 years. Or 10 years. It seems like a bit of a gap to have, right? So I found that a wee bit strange, to be honest. Is it 5? Is it going to be 10? Will it be less? Is it going to get damaged because it looks like it would not last? So when it got launched, it was flawless. Ta-da! Absolute perfection to a T. Good old NASA. Like a Thunderbird's launch, no problem whatsoever. And it was away. But not only that, because of the flawless launch that it had. Oh man, it cracks me up. Because of the launch, it went so well. It actually extended the life of this here telescope. So you're probably thinking, well, so it's going to be 10 years then, is it? Or is it 12 years maybe it's extended it to? Well, if we go to this article here, I can't remember where it's from, but I mean you would easily find it. It's everywhere at the moment. All hail the Ariane 5 rocket, which doubled the Webb telescope's lifetime. Right, it doubled it. So what are they saying, that it's 10? It's going to be 10 years? Well, no. They're saying now that it's going to be 20 years. So straight off the bat, it's deception straight away. The web of lies and deceit has already begun straight away, and that always has to happen. And as you can see here, the other piece of news, less well covered but still important, emerged during a news conference on Saturday. NASA's mission systems engineer for the Webb telescope, Mike Menzel, said the agency had completed its analysis of how much extra fuel remained on board the telescope. Roughly speaking, Menzel said Webb has enough propellant on board for 20 years of life. Wow. So did they miss that bit when they covered how long it was going to last before the launch? I guess no one knew about this extra storage or fuel that it could maybe have or maybe not have. But there you go. It's not 5, it's not 10, it's not even 15, it's 20 now. I wonder if it'll change again. I kind of put my money on it changing again, to be honest. It would not surprise me. We'll jump to Inverse 2 days ago. And kind of just what I was touching on there. NASA thinks space junk will hit the James Webb telescope. But what? Surely that would be bad news, right? You would imagine. Well, no. Seemingly, it's okay. Oh, man. NASA thinks space junk will hit the James Webb Space Telescope, but it's okay. Don't worry. Be happy. The James Webb Space Telescope is a lesson in the delicacy of scientific instruments. Sorry, what? So it's a dummy run for what? Another scam that NASA are going to pull? Speaking of scams, I was looking at a NASA document the other day. This is no word of a lie, right? You know I wouldn't tell you a lie. I came across this document. Oh man, honestly, I can't remember the exact name of the project, but it was abbreviated as SCAM. I kid you not. It was SCAM or SCAMS. And it cracked me up, something chronic, honestly. Oh man, I live a sad life, but there you go. So yeah, it's a lesson on the delicacy of scientific instruments. Well, I guess, yeah, because I mean, it didn't cost that much. People never spent that much of their money on it because it's their money. the American taxpayer. It's their money that made it, seemingly. Yeah, well, it was 10 billion. That's what they reckon. Excuse me. So, not pennies, that is for sure. But it'll be okay. It's a lesson. Yeah, you can say that again. It's a fucking lesson, alright. 2 days ago, Cosmos, whichever you want to go with. Why is the James Webb Space Telescope such a big deal? Question mark. Yeah, why is it a big deal? What's the big deal? It's a telescope, so what? Lots of people have got them. It's a camera on a drone, basically, if it's even that. But yeah, they're making it a big deal. They are pushing it big time because this, quote, telescope is about to open a can of worms, in my opinion at least. And I think we're going to see an endless amount of deception that comes from it. And they are already making sure that people know, hey, this telescope is a big deal. And seemingly now it's finally on its way to discovery. So it's hardly even left. And they're on about discovery. They're not even asking, will it? They're saying, when will it? When will it discover whatever it is they're looking for? Right? This came out in the Independent yesterday. James Webb Space Telescope. What's next for the alien hunter? And when will it send first photos of the stars? Yeah, that's a good question. We want to see photos that look real. That might help the cause. Still nothing yet, but we'll wait and see what it's got to offer. I'd imagine next week, maybe. Despite a successful launch, there are a number of intricate steps to go through before James Webb delivers its first pictures of the stars in April. So maybe not next week then. April, there you go. Now, I might be going out on a limb, but I'd imagine it'll be April fucking Fool's Day. That's when it'll come out, I shit you not, and if it does, oh my god, if that doesn't tell you anything, nothing will, honestly. So look out for it. The first photo from James Webb on April Fool's Day. This came out, I think it was Sky News. Yeah. It came out when it got launched. The telescope got launched. Do aliens exist? The key mysteries that could be unlocked after the James Webb Telescope launched on Christmas Day. And it cost 10 billion. And it's going to last 20 years. Yeah. The Space Observatory will also investigate whether planets outside our solar system may be suitable for life. Hip hip hooray. Yeah. Cameras on the telescope will take images of other planets to look for the presence of water and other hints of life in the atmosphere. Sure. Professor Martin Barstow, yeah, we'll go with Barstow, a scientist who helped develop the device, said it could reveal the existence of extraterrestrial life forms in space. E.T. phone home, look out. So, potentially, I guess, from at least what they're telling us, it's going to find another Earth-like planet that's got water. Or they're going to find another Earth-like planet that has E.T. Whether that be wee green men or, I don't know, sheep, like here. I guess, right? It seems like it's coming. We kind of predicted it, actually. We did say about 2 years ago, eventually they'll come out and say, oh, we found a planet we can see life forms similar to that on Earth. And I think that will happen. I personally couldn't buy it, but I don't think it's far away. I think it's even closer now than it has ever been. And I think this telescope might play a part there. So this guy, what was his name? What did we go with? Barstow. Professor Martin Barstow. He said, "We will learn about the origins of the universe and how life came about, and possibly, although we can't guarantee, about other life in our galaxy as well," he said. Wow. He described the launch as the beginning of a new era in astronomy. Hip hip hooray. He also said the telescope is that important that it is going to completely change the way we view the universe and the way we view our place in it. Yep, you better believe it. They're taking this somewhere. I shit you not. And stuff will come back from it. Whether that's going to have any effect on our life, I don't know. I guess time will tell. In my own personal opinion, I couldn't care less. I could not care less. We've got bigger fish to fry here on this planet, rather than concerning ourselves with a place that might not even exist. Yeah. Inverse again, the go-to, right, at the moment, at least for all you need to know space-wise. This came out, I think, the other week. Astronomers capture the James Webb telescope on the journey to deep space. Wow. So, I mean, that sounds great, that, does it? That must be fascinating. What a spectacular spectacle to see, right? Well, maybe not so much, to be fair. I don't know if you're even going to be able to see it, to be honest. There's a tiny wee arrow in about the middle of the screen. The teeniest wee thing. And there was a video attached to it, and all you see is this wee light travelling through the sky. I mean, you see them every night. If you look up, you'll see it. What they are, I don't know. But one of them, if you were looking that night, or whenever this was, the 8th of January, you might have spotted it. There it is there. I don't know if you can see the mouse pointer. Probably not. It's about in the middle. The brightest star, if you go about 5 o'clock from there, 4 o'clock maybe, there's an arrow pointing to what is seemingly the James Webb telescope, firing its way through space like the Jetsons, right? So that is a astronomer's photo of it. I've not got the wee video, but we'll take their word for it, right? Now, you can take my word as well, I guess, because as you'll see here, this is the James Webb telescope on its way to space. It flew by my house. It stopped off, and I took a photo, and my cat, it had a look at my cat, as you can see. My cat Sausage, it checked her out for a wee bit, there you go. It turned about, and then it went away. Shot off into space. So there you go, you'll just have to take my word for it, right? There it is. It's there in the picture, with all the exposed piping and wires. I mean, it's quite comical to think that you would even consider sending that into space. I know they put it in seemingly put it in a rocket, then it fucking unfolded like a transformer. But still, you would reckon it would have some form of protection, at least. In terms of the name, let me get a drink. Whiskey tonight. In terms of the name James Webb, a lot of people didn't like it. They were not happy that they named it after James Webb. So why was that, you ask? Well, We're about to find out. In terms of James, we will be getting into him a bit more in the future. Seemingly he left NASA in October 1968. Just as Apollo was nearing a successful completion. After retiring from NASA, Mr. Webb remained in Washington, D.C., serving on several advisory boards, of course, including as a regent of the Smithsonian Institution. Right, yep. He died on March 27th, 1992, and is buried in Arlington. Yeah, let's go with that. Arlington National Cemetery. Right. So he worked for NASA, and then he went on to work for the Smithsonian. Yeah. To be honest, we don't really need to know much more about him, but we will. We will be getting into him a bit more today and in the future. I noticed this article here from October last year. NASA brushes off petition to rename its 10 billion James Webb Space Telescope, despite protests that agency's second ever director discriminated against gay employees. How dare he! Rename it at once! Destroy everything that he ever looked at, touched or smelt. Right? That would be the outcry from them. I always found it interesting that they named it James Webb. I don't know why. Something about it does not feel right. And we will get into it a bit more in the future. But in terms of this outcry, a few bullet points from this. So, Webb, a lawyer who died in 1992, aged 85, ran NASA from 61 to 68, appointed by JFK. He was instrumental in the Apollo program. Right. He also presided over NASA during 1963 after the firing of Clifford L. Norton. Norton, a NASA budget analyst, was gay and homosexuals were banned. Oh man. NASA fired Norton for immoral, indecent and disgraceful conduct. Oh man. Norton sued in 1969 and won a landmark ruling which decreed that a civil servant cannot be fired solely on basis of homosexuality. Yeah. So the guy was gay and they gave him the boot. Because at least in the 60s, you were banned from NASA if you was a homosexual. There you go. Webb had also, from 50 to 52, reportedly played a role in the Lavender Scare. At the time, he was at the State Department where 91 gay people were purged. You can't work there if you're gay. Former NASA Administrator Sean O'Keefe named the new telescope after Webb. Right. The decision was made in 2002, and initially there was little controversy. Yeah, no one cared. No one bothered. But then a petition sprung up and 1,200 people signed it, but they still declined to change the name. As you can see, it remained the same, and it does say there that Webb ran the agency until 68 and again was instrumental in the Apollo program that would see the year after his departure Armstrong, Buzz and just Armstrong and Buzz walk on the moon. Sure. So he left a year before it, yet he was instrumental in it. I find that rather strange, although I guess the scandal might have played a part. So yeah, 10 billion it cost as well, it mentioned, and it would be named James Webb, and indeed it was. In terms of the Lavender Scare, it was a moral panic during the mid-20th century about homosexual people in the United States government and their mass dismissal from government service. Yeah, they got shot of them all. Oh man, good old America, right? I mean, personally, homosexuality does not interest me in any way, shape or form. But I'm not against anyone who is homosexual. I kind of live and let live to an extent. But I'm certainly not against. I certainly wouldn't tell people what they should and shouldn't do. It's up to them. So this one here. The James Webb tracker. How to follow the NASA's James Webb telescope so you can track it. What we'll do is we'll quickly have a look at the seemingly what they called humanity's last view. Right? Wait a second, we'll cover this actually first. That would make sense. Let me check. We're still going. Man. I have a tendency to somehow destroy it. But I think we're still going. I can't see any other screen. You're meant to have two, so you can see what's going on, but it's me. So yeah, we're working with the one. So I do apologise. So it's known simply as Webb. That's it. Not even James Webb. Just Webb. Which is interesting. Because like I said, it's basically a web of lies. A web of deception, in my opinion. So also known simply as Webb, the James Webb telescope is a space telescope that was launched in order to expand scientists' knowledge of the universe. Because what, they clearly know nothing about it then. But they'll tell you that they do. They've got it all sewn up from the Big Bang. Let's go with that. The Where Is Webb website displays everything from the time elapsed since the mission's launch to how far is left for the instrument to travel before it reaches its final orbital height, which is seemingly 1,000,000 miles away. Right? I think that's what they're going with. So, I think we'll have a look at the website, right? So let's jump off here for a sec, if I can. Where am I? Oh, what have I done? Oh, man. Can I... Boom, there we go, sorted. So yeah, that was a wee bit on the James Webb. I want to show you the video. Seemingly this is what they call the last view of the James Webb telescope for humanity. And it's like, well, how is that the last view? Where is it go? I thought people were going to be are we not keeping an eye on it? Are we just fucking firing it up and goodbye, see you later? Surely it's being watched, kept an eye on. Different cameras on it, you'd imagine, sensing, watching. There doesn't seem to be any of that, to be honest. It kind of baffles me how it's been designed. But hey, what do I know, right? Fucking nothing, to be honest. But yeah, let me show you a quick video of the seemingly last humanity's view, right? So if I can manage it, then we'll have a wee chat, catch up in the comments, and then I've got a few other bits to show you. Excuse me. So we'll get into that as well, right? I appreciate everyone joining tonight. Let's see if I can get the ball rolling here. Oh man, I thought I was prepared, but there you go. Oh, the best laid plans, right? Yeah, I've got it here. So
Séparation Webb Space Telescope. Go Webb!
We do have confirmation of observatory separation. The James Webb Space Telescope, amidst applause here in the Mission Control Center, now taking its first steps in pursuit of cosmological discovery. It was a perfect ride to orbit, and all of the separation sequence events are running in good fashion according to the telescope controllers. And there is the view from the upper stage camera on the Ariane 5 looking at the James Webb Space Telescope as it moves gently away from its launch vehicle.
Fantastic pictures of this telescope.
Go Webb, go Webb.
Yes, go Webb.
Ironically enough, as we marvel on this view from the upper stage camera, this will be humanity's last view of the James Webb Space Telescope as it moves to its workplace about 1 million miles away from Earth.
Yes, you're right, Rob. Impressive, fantastic pictures. Yeah.
Now we'll be hearing shortly from the mission operations manager at the Space Telescope Science Institute, Carl Starr, who will be calling out the procedures that will lead to the deployment of Webb's solar array. And down in the fishbowl where there is jubilation, let's go to Raphael Chevrier of Arianespace. And before we do that, Raphael, a bit earlier than planned, but there is the solar array having been deployed. James Webb now has its array out as we stand by for confirmation that it is power positive.
Hey, Rob. J'entends pas ce qu'il me dit. Il m'a appelé ou pas? Il m'a appelé ou pas, Rob?
Non, il t'a pas appelé.
And there it is. There's your critical call. James Webb not only has legs, but it has power as it begins its journey and the commissioning activities to follow. And with that, let's go down to the floor in the fishbowl and Raphael Chevrier of Arianespace.
This is it. We have witnessed and the confirmation that Ariane 5 have safely delivered Webb into space. The upper stage is now being placed on a safe escape orbit around the sun, but honestly, I've got to tell you that these images are absolutely incredible, and well, it may be the end of the mission for Arianespace, but it's only the beginning of the journey for Webb. It's now on its way to the Lagrange point. Congratulations to all the team involved in the flight. Really, there is no words to describe the immersion that is happening right now in the fishbowl. So all I can say is good luck, Webb, and bring us incredible data from the deep universe.
So, I mean, I don't know about you, but that cracked me up. I laughed all the way through it, basically. The first time I watched it, oh man, it was comical. And seemingly that's the last view, never to be seen again. It's $10 billion US. Boom, gone. Humanity's never to see it again. Yeah, talk about priorities, right? But there you go. Interesting that they were calling the what would it be, headquarters, I guess, control room, the fishbowl. I wonder why they were calling it the fishbowl. I thought that was quite interesting. And yeah, is that humanity's last view, or will we see it again? Time will tell, I guess. I doubt we'll ever see it again, to be honest, wherever it's went. Probably to the bottom of the ocean. Oh man, someone's gonna find it in 100 years' time. I thought that was in space. Like a box of... There was a astronaut, I can't remember who it was, but he had a wee, I think it was a wee box, a wee shoe box of different items that he was meant to leave on the moon. And seemingly he did, but it wasn't until he passed away. His wife cleared out a cupboard, and there it was. The shoebox was in his cupboard. Of course, he never went to the moon, hence why the box never fucking made it there. I can't remember who it was. We'll have to cover that again, and I'll get some info on it. But let me quickly say hello in the chat. Hopefully everyone's doing alright. Frank in the hood, our brother Frank. Frank the information tank. Good to have you in the hood, great stuff. And I appreciate all your emails and support, website comments. I always forget to mention my website. Oh man, I'm hopeless. But I have got a website, that's lifebutnotasweknowit.com. Pretty simple really. You should find it no problem. I need to update it, to be fair. A few people have said it's quite a good website. It's pretty basic, in my opinion, but yeah, hopefully it'll get better over time. AKA, good to have you. I send my love to yourself and your mother, and Justine as well. Excuse me as I burp. Good to have you in the hood, Justine. Tony, great stuff. Always a pleasure to have Tony in the hood. Charlotte, yeah, good to have you. Yeah, was that the French guy that was going, go away, go away, go away? Is that the command to release? Oh man, I mean, it all looked very, very, I don't know, CGI. I think it was quite strange. I mean, I think it's hard to look at it. Yeah, I think what AKA said there. But of course, Elon Musk, you know it's real because it looks so fake. Oh man, that's what he said, right? So we'll go with that. But yeah, I think you're on the money. Charles as well. Good to have you in the hood, Charles. A pleasure to have you tonight, brother. Hope you're doing well. Justine, yep, good stuff. Good to have you. Paul of the family. There you go. You're the Paul of the family. Great stuff. Good to have you. Yeah, fishbowl. Yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. What a name to call it, right? Yeah, that kind of raised an eyebrow for me. Yeah, for sure. Frank. EMF. Yeah. Frank's the man to see when it comes to EMF. Oh man, honestly, the guy knows his stuff. He really does. And I'm very grateful to have him here. And everyone else. The community that we've got, it's a bit like an archive, a living, real-time archive of people with intelligence, if you want to call it that, and experience, real life experience. And when it comes to that, it's priceless. It really is. So I'm very grateful to have everyone. I really am, and I appreciate it. So thanks very much to everyone. Go Gadget Webb. Yeah, it's a transformer. That's what they're going with. It's a butterfly. It unfurled like a butterfly and flew away, never to be seen again. Oh man, classic. Psyop as well. Good to have you. Yeah, great stuff. Good to have you tonight. If I missed anyone, Scotty as well. There you go. Great stuff. A regular now. Our brother Scotty, good to have you in the hood. Lots of good comments. Psyop, yeah. Yeah, I'd imagine, yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt about it. Anthony, on the money. So yeah, let me see now. I want to show you another wee sort of slideshow, I guess. Will I play the video first? I'm unsure. We'll play the trailer first, right? It's a short trailer for what we're going to discuss next, kinda. Moon related, NASA related, space related, I guess. We'll go with that. So let me see if I can quickly find it. I want to go about an hour and a half. I don't want to be too long. I don't want to take up too much of people's time. But not only that, I want to try and keep the info compact. I mean, no one's got time today to sit down and watch a video or listen for about 2 hours. It's very rare, and I understand that. So I'm going to try and make them a bit shorter. But that is easier said than done. When it comes to me, especially. Why can I not find this? Yeah, I found it now. Right, so I'll play the video round about now.
The average annual rainfall hit another low. The world's water will be reduced by 40% in the next 10 years.
제가 찾아온 이유는 아주 중대한 임무에 참여할 우주 생물학자가 필요해서입니다. 발의 기지입니다. 달에 착륙한 후 여러분들의 임무는 기지 안에 남아있는 중요 샘플을 회수하여 지구로 귀환하는 것입니다.
기술 이동한다. 구조선 이미 출발했다고 해도 아직 시간이 있어. 우린 임무에 충실하면 된다. 우선 임무에 집중한다.
기지 내 상태의 전수조사는 필요합니다. 뭐가 있어요 지금? 도대체 이게 뭐가 어떻게 된지 모르겠네.
대장님, 전방에 생체 신호가 다가옵니다. 지금 바로 코앞입니다.
뭐였을까?
이상한 점이 한두 가지가 아니에요. 만약 정부 발표가 사실이 아니라면요. 정말 이번 임무가 성공하길 바라시는 게 맞나요? 우리가 모르는 게 너무 많아요.
빨리 여기서 나가야 될 것 같아요.
다들 방어복 입고 기다리고 있어!
전화신호 보내고 귀신이 계속 먹통입니다.
The Silent Sea, that's what it's called. It's a Netflix series that I think came out towards the end of last year. Right, The Silent Sea. I think it is a book as well, actually. Now, hopefully, I've done this correct. Oh man, I need to put it full screen so I won't be able to keep an eye on comments, but I'll try something, right? So I need to put it to my full screen so I can get a good glimpse at it, right? Because I'm blind as a bat, as they say. The Silent Sea. Now, I had never heard of the series, to be honest. I don't know how long it is. I might watch it just to kind of see what it's all about, see if there's anything interesting. So, in verse again, frankly, the premise is ridiculous. Well, I mean, anything to do with space, yeah, I guess, it is ridiculous. The best space thriller on Netflix reveals a real lunar mystery. Right. A space thriller on Netflix reveals a real lunar mystery. So is it sci-fi or is it real? Is it a mix of both? All part of the deception, of course, where a lot of people, they cannot tell the difference. So, let's expand on it. Let's have a look at what's the story here, right? It's a crisis unlike any we've ever seen on planet Earth. Dun, dun, dun. With annual rainfall hitting record lows, water is a scarce commodity doled out to the rich elite while the rest barely get enough to survive. Right. Crops are failing and children are dying at alarming rates. Okay. The grim backdrop for Netflix's recent Korean sci-fi thriller, The Silent Sea, might seem like an unusual one. What's the connection between the deadly drought on Earth, likely driven by the climate crisis, and the lunar mission at the heart of this series? What could it be? Could it be that, I don't know, it's both theatre? Yeah, I guess it could be. It could be that. So, what is the connection? I guess they'll tell us, right? But it quickly becomes clear why scientists and astronauts teamed up on this death-defying mission to the Belhay station, a moon base where many people perished in a mysterious accident 5 years ago. It's because there's a coveted substance on the moon, lunar water. Right. As the show puts it, that lunar water could be a gift for humanity or a deadly threat. Dun, dun, dun. So, yeah, life or death, I guess, right? But is there really water on the moon? And could it help us establish a lunar base like the one in the series? Going even further, could we drink and maybe even mine lunar water if we ran out of water on Earth? Oh man, that cracked me up, it really did. So yeah, what they saying? Well, as it turns out, the creators of The Silent Sea didn't invent the concept of moon water out of thin air. Though it hasn't always been accepted as scientific fact. Well, what is? Quote, scientists studying lunar rocks for the first time when the Apollo and Lunar missions returned thought the moon seemed to be completely dry. Close brackets. Yeah, because let's not forget, what they tell us is they went to the moon 6 times in 3 years. You think they might have came across something that might have pointed them into a direction of there being this water on the moon, but not to be. Not until later on. And it asks the question there, is there water on the moon? In the Silent Sea, a research team of astrobiologists, doctors, engineers and astronauts, the fucking A-team right there, set off on a top secret mission to recover a classified substance from the moon. They soon discover that the substance they are after is lunar water. Right. As it turns out, the creators of The Silent Sea didn't invent the concept of moon water. Yeah, we covered that out of thin air, right? It's kind of a thing, at least going by this, right? Let me see. But in 2018, a NASA discovery confirmed there is indeed watery ice in frozen craters located in the moon's polar regions. Sorry, what? Say that again. There's frozen ice. Sorry, there's watery ice. Watery ice in frozen craters located on the moon's polar regions. Watery ice in frozen craters. Is it water? Is it ice? Is it frozen? So yeah, there's seemingly water in these polar regions, in these big craters on the moon that gets pounded by craters all the time, right? Just look up, you'll see it getting hit by craters. Just like the space junk. You see it all coming in to the atmosphere at night. You see it all burning up. There's millions of it. Sure. So yeah, they're going with that. I guess that's where they should have put the astronauts. I mean, surely the poles of the moon might have been a good idea to start. No, just a random bit on the moon. Yeah. The show even references the moon's craters in its name. The Silent Sea is a term 17th century astronomers used to refer to the dark spots on the moon, which scientists now recognise as craters known as Maria. Wow. So, yeah, the Marias have got water. Well, watery ice that's frozen in a frozen crater. So, make of that what you wish. And yeah, it's a bit confusing. Is it sci-fi? Is it real? All part of the confusion and I guess the mass deception of it all. Eventually, in time to come, we really won't be able to tell the difference, if not already. I think a lot of us kind of see it. I mean, you can tell straight away. Yeah, the moon seemed to be completely dry. Yeah. I mean, Buzz and Armstrong, the guy who said tomorrow's job is to control the weather, they must have missed it. All that running around, driving around, jumping around. Missed it. There you go. Subsequent studies in 2020 have shown that water ice may be more abundant and spread across the moon's surface than we previously thought. Wow! Would you Adam and Eve it? There you go. The icy, watery, frozen water on the moon, it does indeed have the syndrome. Shock horror. It's deception. Nothing but. It's basically what it is to begin with. Sci-fi. That's all it is. I cannot buy any of it for a single second. Not a millisecond. I think this is in regards to the series. Scientists in the movie predict Earth's water supply will decrease 40% in the next 10 years. The implication, lunar water could be examined and perhaps mined to save humans from their demise. Right. But could we really try to mine lunar water to alleviate our current water shortages? Sorry, what? Did he said water shortages? Yeah, that's right. Water shortages. That's what they're pushing at the moment. And I've not felt any effects of such a thing. But I know there is talk of it in the media in different parts of the world. I guess there always has been in certain places, but it seems to be getting pushed more and more. And remember, they control the narrative, right? So, they get an expert. They get the expert on, and he says, quote, "Frankly, the premise is ridiculous. Not only for the reason that the moon is still bone dry, right, compared to Earth, but also because Earth is in no danger of running out of water." Right. But that guy just said, what about the current water shortages? How does that happen then? Badly managed, I'd imagine. But in terms of the expert, it's ridiculous, and it won't happen. And the moon is bone dry, seemingly. So which is it? Take your pick. I guess in about 10 years' time, they'll send another few Freemasons to the moon, and this time they won't have moon boots. It won't be a moon print. They're going to be ice skating. They're going to be ice skating in the craters in the watery ice. Look out for it. You heard it here first, right? Sticking with the moon, this is an actual image from NASA of the moon. Can't seem to see any watery craters, but it's only in the poles, right, where they've never been by the looks of it. Funny that, actually. But there you go. The moon is always, always, always in the news. In China, who'd have thought it? We have touched on this before. We touched on the fact that China... let me get a drink. We touched on the fact that China were building a artificial moon, and I believe also an artificial sun. Hip hip hooray! Remember, we all got together and voted for China to build these artificial moons and suns. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, yeah, in my personal opinion, they'll never get to the moon. But even, yeah, let's go by their terms for a second. They want to mine the moon. That is actually a thing that they're talking about, Mr. Musk and his clan. I mean, that sounds like a great idea, that, does it? Going by what we know about fracking, mining gas from Earth, how dangerous it is, the effects it can have. If they do ever get to the moon and mine it, surely that's only going to be bad news in time to come. Of course, I don't buy any of it. I'll believe it when I see it. Even then, I'll be sceptical. The Independent, this came out yesterday. China builds artificial moon to simulate low gravity, inspired by a levitating frog. Oh man, fuck it all. Honestly, it cracks me up, man. It really does. Honest to God. I really do wonder how they come up with these things. It's quite comical, but there you go. It was inspired by a levitating frog. You know, Ribbit, one of them. A levitating one. We will expand on it because you'll be thinking, well, what the... A levitating frog? A wizard frog. There you go. A Harry Potter frog. Yeah, we'll go with that. The fake world is only 6 centimetres in diameter, but could be crucial in helping spacecraft explore the larger one, what they call the real moon. Right, so this is a model for them to work out how they're going to plunder the moon. Right, so, like I said, we'll expand on it a bit. So, China has built an artificial moon. Research facility. China has built an artificial moon research facility that simulates low gravity environments, which will help it explore the satellite further. Right. The facility, which will be officially launched in the coming months, can apparently make gravity, quote, disappear, close quote. Oh man. Impossible! Newton will be turning in his grave. Is it Isaac Newton? Is that the gravity boy? The gravity boy? Or am I thinking of someone else? My memory's failing me now. In an effect that can, quote, last as long as you want, close quote. Right, and it's from the China University of Mining and Technology. Yeah, so you can see where that's going. They're going to eventually be claiming to mine the moon. I wonder where they're taking that narrative. So yeah, they can make gravity, quote, disappear, close quote. Yeah. Oh man, is that what they do in their tunnels? Where they record their ISS footage? They've got them in these wee simulators where they make gravity disappear. Pew, just like that, and it's gone. In the words of Tommy Cooper, right? The late comedian. Some of you might not know him. Wait a minute. What is this one from? Yeah, sticking with it. The Independent. The simulator could also be used to test whether 3D printing could be used to construct structures, including those fit for human habitation on the moon's surface. Oh man. So there you go. This is the dummy run for building a hotel on the moon. They're going to build a wee hotel in their 6 centimetre fucking no gravity pool with a wee moon on it. Like a wee ping pong ball floating about in a no gravity box with I guess a wee hotel on it. And they're going to say, well look, that's alright, it'll be fine. Let's do it. Let's take everyone's money, build a rocket and say it's going to the moon. The idea for the facility came from an experiment that levitated a frog with a magnet. Sorry, what? From an experiment that levitated a frog with a magnet. Oh man, is everyone thinking what I'm thinking? What was where was the frog? Where had he just been? He had just been rolling up his sleeve. And then he was levitating. Oh man, that cracked me up more than it probably should. But yeah, I guess we'll take their word for it, right? It was a Russian scientist that done it, and he got a Nobel Prize. So it must be true. Let's go with that. And this one here, they won't let this go. They will not let it go. It continues. I think basically month after month, year after year, this is going somewhere. They keep going on about it. This strange radio signals that are being detected from what they call the heart of our galaxy. So I don't know. It's maybe just a signal getting rebounded from the 90s. I don't know, some rap tune, hip hop tune. It's coming back. It's making its way back. But this is one they won't let go. I don't know if it's going to tie in with the James Webb telescope, but it might, because they will not let it go. It keeps getting pushed. And it basically gets recycled. It's the same every time. And that is a straight up red flag for a controlled narrative through what I've seen, and in my opinion at least. SciTech Daily, 3 days ago. Don't look up! Several asteroids are heading towards Earth! Quick! Run for the hills! No, wait, it's gonna hit you there! Fuck, under the sea! Where's that undersea city that they were gonna build? We need it now! Quickly, get Elon to build a tunnel with his boring company. Oh man, so yeah, another story that they push continuously is the asteroid going to hit the Earth. And of course we've just had the release of the Don't Look Up movie, where the asteroid's going to hit the Earth. And basically people don't care. They seem to not care. Well, they do eventually, but it's kind of too little too late. The story of our lives, right? So yeah, I think that's pretty much it, to be honest. Yeah, that was the last slide. So I'll jump back and say hello. Let me go wee screen again. There we go. Was that the last one? Yeah, I think it was. So yeah, there we go. Great stuff. Good old NASA. The next live that I do on NASA is going to be about the technology, well, some of the technology that they claim to have invented or created. Even medical technology, I guess. So we'll get into that next time, but I'm trying to think when I'm going to be back. I'm not sure. It could be Saturday, although I think I'm busy. So maybe Sunday. If not Friday, it'll be Sunday. I'm hoping to be back on Friday though. But time will tell. Either way, I will eventually be back again, right? They can try, but they can't keep us down. Delete me, no chance. Ain't happening. They can try. 24 strikes, bring it on. 24 on counting, although I don't want another one tonight. Not until February the 14th, and then I'm on one, and then I can kind of breathe again. At the moment we are on seriously thin ice, so we've got to watch. Well, at least me, I've got to watch what I say. People can say whatever they want. I promote that, but I'm not allowed. Otherwise it'll be game over. So thank you very much to AKA. Good to have you. We didn't cover anything news breaking. We never kind of do. It's not really. That's not really how it rolls here. We like to kind of cover stuff and be sure about it. There could have been stuff tonight that we covered that people might not have known about, which is fine. We all learn. Fucking, I'm never done learning. Every day. I'm always grateful. Especially today, the older I get, I'm always very grateful to people who can share their experience with you, possibly guide and direct you, and give you information that could be vital. It really could. So yeah, good evening, AKA. Great to have you in the hood, and Justine as well. Chatting with Diane. Is Diane in the house? I never noticed. There we go. Yeah, good to have you again, Diane. A regular. A wee bit late to the party, so press ups will be issued, I'm afraid. Right, we'll go for 50 tonight. John as well, good to have you in the hood. An English brother by the looks of it. Great stuff. Carmen as well, a regular, back again. Good to see you. It's good to see faces coming back. It would be disappointing if they didn't, right? Well, it wouldn't, but it is good to know that people want to come back, and I think they enjoy. People tend to enjoy the chat as well, which is great. Like I said, we do have a good community, at least in my opinion, if I can't say so. On Fire Foley as well. Good to see you in the hood. A regular, long term as well. Good to have you. And Clan Gun, another regular. Yeah, a floating frog. A levitating frog. I mean, fuck, honest to God. So that inspired it. The levitating frog inspired a moon simulation. Who'd have thought it, right? What a world we live in. Oh man, it's like one big joke. It really is. I'm sorry, but I can't help but laugh sometimes when it comes to NASA, especially the stories they come out with. In my eyes, it's comical. It really is. And James as well. Good to have you back again. Our brother James in the hood. And Scotty, Justine, AKA Diane, Charles, Frank, always a pleasure. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think we would have covered anything that people haven't seen before, to be honest. But we try and string it together in a way that makes a bit of sense, because everything we get from NASA is complete and utter deception. Like I said before, what NASA sell is cans of deception. That's it. That is it. Cans of worms that basically are worms of deception. That's why their logo is called the worm, right? Their new logo. They're snakes. That's what they are. They cannot be trusted. We cannot trust them, not with anything. The same with the government. We can't trust them on anything. Not one thing. Especially when it comes to people's health. Don't buy it. Do not trust any politician they put on that fucking TV. Don't fall for it. Don't be falling for that trap, because many people do. But I know I'm kind of preaching to the choir tonight. We're all pretty switched on. We all learn every day, but we ain't fooled not one bit by the complete insanity that is this world today. It is mental. Luckily, there are good people like ourselves, aka and many others, Carmen as well, and John. Good to have you tonight, brother. We don't give up. Thank you very much, Justine. Always a pleasure to hear from you, and I'm very flattered. Thank you. And yeah, I mean, when it comes to NASA, where do you start with the lies from the very beginning? Look at who they brought over to front NASA. It was basically the people who were fronting the the Nazi party. I guess, yeah, Nazi, NASA, same thing, I'd imagine. Controlled, elite controlled puppets. Not figures of the people, but figures of the agenda. Just like the people that we get today in terms of wee Billy Rockefeller, Elon Musk, Bezos, all puppets working for the fucking Illuminati, basically. It's as simple as that, really. So yeah, great stuff. What are we saying, John? Who sings it? It's a cover. I use covers so I avoid copyright. The song is called Going In For The Kill. Right? Going in for the kill. He's singing quickly, switch it off. But you'll find there's quite a few good covers of it. So if you search up Going In For The Kill, you'll find it. And I thought it was quite fitting for wee Billy Rockefeller. A criminal, if there ever was one. A mass murderer, if there ever was one. Big time. And quite an interesting video, that intro. If you've not seen it, watch it back with wee Billy Rockefeller. And yeah, at the end, quite an interesting clip as well. So yeah, thank you very much to everyone tonight. What I'm going to do is, I was meant to upload a new outro, and I forgot. So what I think I have got somewhere. Excuse me. I don't know. We'll go out on the NASA, the moon landing one with Buzz and Armstrong. You know, Armstrong says at the very end, he talks about controlling the weather being tomorrow's job. And yeah, no wonder they never let him do any more interviews. Quickly, shut him up. Reagan, no, not Reagan. I always get him mixed up. What was it? Nixon. Nixon was like, yeah, right, no more interviews for him. Fucking get him gagged immediately. Put Buzz on interviews. Don't tell them about our plans for tomorrow, about controlling the weather. Weather modification. That is right up NASA's street, honestly. I mean, when it comes to NASA, yeah, deception, but weather modification as well. Who'd have thought it, right? And of course, medical technology. Yep, medical technology. There you go. We will get into that. Maybe Friday. I might get it out the way then. I was meant to do it before, so possibly Friday if I get time to put it together. We'll hit it out the park then, right? So yeah, thank you very much to everyone for jumping in. I'll quickly say cheerio to Justine even. Oh man, one of these days I'll get it right. Frank as well. Great to have you. John, our good friend Justine. Carmen, a pleasure to have you as well. AKA John Mark Evans in the house. Good to have you. From the start, he was first in the house. I'll send you the check in the post, right? Frank, always a pleasure. Yeah, the German scientists. Who'd have thought it, right? The Nazis. Yeah, Hitler. I mentioned in the in the Scots Armour chat, the live that we done. A lot of people get confused. I mean, I don't promote any political ideology whatsoever, but they people say that Hitler or the Nazi party was right wing. It wasn't right wing, it was a socialist party. From what I could gather, right wing people would be against having more government control. It would be the opposite. So they were the opposite of right wing. But again, it shows you the complete deception that goes into this ideologies and politics. It is nothing more than a theatre, and people run about today talking about it when they actually know nothing about it whatsoever. And it's quite comical, really. But a lot of people out there have got a lot to learn, and that's rich coming from me, right? Because, hey, none of us are perfect, that is for sure. But yeah, on Friday, I'll catch up with everyone. Yeah, lots of bad things happening at the moment with the juice. Unfortunately, it is not good news. People really need to make a stand, and don't fall for it. Don't buy it. Don't trust them. Do not trust them. Life is too short as it is, right? Don't go making it even shorter, right? Keep your eyes peeled. Stay strong. If you are ill or have a bit of a cold, look after yourself. Stay at home. Don't worry about it. It'll pass eventually, and you'll be all good, and you'll be all the better for it, right? They are seriously changing the narrative and perspective of how people see even life itself at the moment, with the masks, the testing, all kinds of different things in a medical sense. And it's a bit worrying. I'd be lying if I said any different. We might get into it a bit more. It will be on, I think, Odyssey, so I'll let you know when that video's up. Maybe on Sunday. So I'll get a live on Friday, and then I'll make that video on the Sunday, right? So with that said, I'll be back again on Friday, and thank you again to everyone for jumping in. Much appreciated, right? And that is about it. Bye bye.
Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
Forbes has officially decreed that Seattle's Bill Gates, with $4.2 billion, is the second richest person in the country. So of course we turned to him, hoping to learn some secrets of his meteoric success.
We can fight our desires. Ooh, but when we start making fires, we get ever so hot. Whether we like it or not. They say we can love who we trust. But what is love without lust? Two hearts with accurate devotion. What are feelings without emotion? I'm going in for the kill, doing it for a thrill, and I'm hoping you'll understand and don't let go of my hand. I held my hopes out on the line.
Bill Gates, for so long the world's richest man, famously announced he would give most of it away and spend his time and vast resources on the world's poor.
If you leave them out too long, they'll be withered by the sun. Full stops and exclamation marks. My heart's so beating for a starlight.
We were at one of these meetings yesterday, and I remember that a lady told you that she had had 8 children, and 4 of them had died in childbirth, or shortly thereafter. But if all of them had survived, she'd have 8 children. And what the developing world does not need is more children. And what the developing world does not need is more children.
And I think that was the biggest aha to Bill and me when we got into this work, is we asked ourselves, of course, the same hard-nosed question you'd ask, which is, if you get into this work and you start to save these children, will women just keep overpopulating the world? And thank goodness the converse is absolutely true. They don't do that, because women say to themselves they want 2 children to survive into adulthood. If she knows that 2 will survive into adulthood, she will naturally bring down her population. And so as soon as she starts to see that getting them vaccinated or keeping them alive during the birth, she won't have as many children. That's what we just heard from this group as well, that the older women had had more children, hoping more would survive, but the younger women are starting to plan for smaller families because they know they'll live.
They all said they wanted 3.
Yeah. Which is fantastic.
Not 8.
That's what you want. Yeah.
And so if you understand that there's a high likelihood that your child is going to survive, you believe they'll have fewer.
Absolutely, and we're seeing that play out in all the population numbers across the globe. In fact, the population rates are coming down faster than had been predicted 10 years ago.
Absolutely, and we're seeing that play out in all the population numbers across the globe. In fact, the population rates are coming down faster than had been predicted 10 years ago.
Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
the rain.
The rain.
Right.
Well, we haven't learned to control the weather yet, but that's something we can look forward to as tomorrow's challenge.
Right.
We haven't learned to control the weather yet, but that's something we can look forward to as tomorrow's challenge.
Right.
Tomorrow's challenge. Right.